A very pleasant good day, my beloved brothers and sisters in Christ and outside the body of Christ. Well, once again, this is your Christian brother Eric Braxton speaking to you all from his beloved country, Trinidad and Tobago, the land of my nativity, the land of my birth, Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, this wonderful island country that is in the blue Caribbean Sea. Well, a pleasant good day to one and all and to the citizens of the world. To the citizens of the world, I welcome you all and sundry, to this very important message that I need to put out in the public domain. I know there are many information on this topic already on the public, out in the public domain for one and all to access. But I have to say my part when concerning that I'm about to talk. Well, the topic is about Israel and Iran. And that is very heated matter, that hot potato topic that is at hand, as they say, using terms now, concerning the Arab-Israeli conflict, of course, with the Palestinians, the Arabs, the rest of the Arab world, and plus Iran, Persia. Well, we see on the agenda right now, things are heating up, and concerning the want Israel. Joe Biden, the President of the United States, want Iran to return back to the negotiation table, and that they should stop all the uranium process. They should set up cameras. The Iran leader, spiritual leader, plus the President of Iran, is saying for them to return back to the negotiation table. All the American sanction that is placed up in Iran should be moved, so they will return back to the negotiation table. So which side will America say no? We will keep the sanction until Iran agree to move, stop the Iran processing of Iran that to make the nuclear bomb, and to put cameras inside the lab, the big lab underground, right? So they'll be able to see what they're doing now, according to the United Nations and all these things. So Iran is saying no, and plus the Prime Minister, the new Prime Minister of Israel, say that Iran is just playing for time to develop that nuclear bomb, and therefore a lot of the Israeli Air Force and the army is training to attack Iran. Of course, nuclear facility underground or in the warehouse on top now. But they say more underground now. And they want to buy a bomb, the Israeli want to purchase weapons, top arsenal weapons from America. The bomb penetrator that will shoot it and bomb up the underground bunker where they have the nuclear lab to develop the nuclear weapon. Well, brothers and sisters, that is what is on the horizon and what is taking place in Israel. Well, to me, Eric Braxton is in Trinidad, watching and see what will take place. So whether Israel attack Iran or Iran attack, well, I know if Israel attack Iran, Iran will attack back Israel, right? But we know God is protecting Israel because the seed of David endure forever, and we know Iran, Persia will not wipe out the Jews, although the intention is to wipe out the Jews. And what about this? What about the archangels Michael? Oh yes, I have to bring. Only I think I only deal with man alone. No, I'm dealing with man. Well, I'm dealing with God, man, and the angels also. We all involved in that, you know. Yes, only they know that. I will show you all from the scriptures. It's all wrapped up with that. Because the scripture said that is in the book of Daniel, that Michael will stand up for the people of God. The great Prince Michael will stand up for the people of God. And they say the archangels Gabriel, they say a lot of preachers saying that. They get it from the Bible, book of Daniel, that the archangels Michael, holy angels that stand in the presence of God, his assignment is over the state of Israel. He's protecting Israel. Is that true? Yes, it's true. and therefore everything is heating up. Therefore Michael the archangels and the angels that he have is with him from the heavens, where there is in the invisible now. They are watching with a very keen eye and see what is taking place, of course. So Michael the archangel is not ignorant concerning Iran and what is taking place. He's fully aware because he's watching the geopolitics that is taking place between America, Israel, between Israel, Palestine, between Iran and Israel, because he is stationed right in Israel. He, where the archangels, Gabriel is with the rest of the angels. He's watching, so he's well aware what is taking place, and that's why they say he's protecting the state of Israel, the Jews, the house of Judah. Okay, many people might not accept that, but that's a fact of the matter. Right. So, whether Israel attack Iran or Iran attack Israel, war will break out. And we'll be suffering on both sides, ladies and gentlemen. Bloodshed again. All I could say in that matter is that in spite war will break out between Israel and Iran and Israel, because Israel doesn't want Israel, America, England, France and all the allies doesn't want Iran to purchase no nuclear bomb, because they say they're using that when they have that nuclear weapon to wipe out the state of Israel. You understand? Because they hate the Jews that much. Okay. All I could say on that matter, if war do break out, it will be a terrible war, ladies and gentlemen. It will be a terrible war. It will be a terrible war. But remember, God is protecting Israel, and God will protect them, as He have been doing throughout the century. So we'll have to watch the development and see what take place. But in spite of all that, and beyond that war that will take place, if they do eventually happen according to prophecies, all I could say is that the God who created mankind, the Holy One of Israel, who created the angels and the universe and mankind and everything in it, He have His plan, and His plan will succeed. And eventually, the Bible says He's coming to bring peace to all mankind. So eventually, when Jesus Christ come back to the earth, He is coming to bring peace for everybody, the whole of humanity, to the Jews, for the people of Iran, to all the Arab nations that is against Iran, for the whole of humanity, so that all mankind will live in peace and love with one another. But before Jesus Christ come, we know a lot of troubles will take place. A lot of wars and fightings will be taking place, and bloodshed and suffering in the world will take place before that time come. And that incident with Iran and Israel will take place, eventually happen. You understand? It will eventually happen. They will start fighting, and they'll be using bombs on one another and all these things. It will be real terrible. But the Holy One of Israel is above in heaven watching, God the Father. Jesus Christ is watching, and of course the elect holy angels, we can't leave them out. They're part of the mix. They'll be watching all what's taking place on the earth. And we know the rest of the angels too. The fallen angels, they watch it now too. You think they're ignorant of that? They are ignorant. They're fully aware of what's taking place too concerning that. So you see, and plus mankind. So then I include everybody in it. Of course I include everybody. Oh, I include everybody. I include everybody in it. When I include everybody in it, yes. The only person I didn't include in it was the animals. Because I talk about God, I talk about the holy angels, I talk about the fallen angels, and I talk about man. When I didn't talk about the animals, well, when the war starts, the animals will be watching it too. The birds are flying when the bombs are shooting, and when Israel let go the bomb on the state of Iran. I'm trying to be for all the think I look at being funny. I am being funny. I'm telling all of the facts. And when Iran started Lego bombs on Israel, the animals that is in Israel and in Persia, Iran, and is in Israel, when they see bombs and bullets flying and bloodshed taking place, and they'll be seeing that too, of course. So they will not be, they will be witnessing the bloodshed taking place at the same time too. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, it will be a terrible thing. But remember what I tell all you. Beyond that, God, the God of peace, He will bring peace to this world eventually when Jesus Christ comes to the earth a second time to bring peace to the whole of mankind. Not only to the Jews, not only to the house of Israel or to the house of Judah, but to all the Gentile nation, the whole human family. And He will bring peace and bring peace so that the whole of mankind will live in peace with one another, because ultimately that is the goal of God. That is God's objective, His plan, and He will achieve that plan by bringing peace to the world eventually. But we know before that time comes, then I tell all you, there'll be wars and rumors of wars and chaos and trouble in the world. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I'd rather tell all of that. I know they know that. I just repeating what all they already hear. No. You understand? You understand, ladies and gentlemen? So Jesus Christ will bring peace to the world. And when Jesus Christ bring peace to the world, the state of Iran, Persia, Iran, and the state of Israel will no longer be fighting because Jesus Christ bring peace to the world. Now what will the state of Israel and the state of Iran will be doing? And what about all the rest of Arab countries, Hamas, Palestine, Hezbollah, and all these different groups in Lebanon, and the PLO in Jericho, the territory, and all the Arab nations who are not trading with Israel, who hate Israel? There will be unity amongst mankind, unity amongst the brethren, because behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, right? And since the whole of mankind will be his brethren, because God created us different nations, but one human family, because He created all nations of one blood to dwell upon the earth, according to the books of Acts, but it's one human family. Therefore, under the reign of Christ, He will bring all the whole human family together in unity, in one accord, and move away the discord and the division, and bring the human family in one accord. And that includes all the Arab nation, that includes Hamas, that includes Hezbollah, that includes the PLO, and that includes all the Arab nations who's against Israel. Well, we know some of them like Egypt and Jordan and all these things, and a few that's recently have added to the fold, along with Egypt and Jordan, who recognize Israel. You understand? Yes, and all the rest of them will come under the government of God, the kingdom of God, when Jesus Christ comes to establish upon the earth to bring peace to the world. And therefore, at that time when Jesus Christ, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, reigning upon this earth in Jerusalem, the capital city of the world, when He comes, yes, all the nations will find their way in Jerusalem. Persia, the Irans, and them will be coming in. Hamas, Hezbollah, PLO, and all the Arab nations, those from Kuwait, those from Saudi Arabia, those from Bahrain, those from Kuwait, those from all the Arab nations will come in into Jerusalem to do what? What they will be coming in Jerusalem to do what? On to see Jesus Christ? Yes, and to do what? To hold hands with the said Jewish people. So all you think that Jesus Christ will allow all the Arab nation to come in the city of Jerusalem, which is His city, the city of Jerusalem. But when they reach there, they won't be holding hands with the Jews. No, that doesn't make sense. You see, they will be holding hands and embracing the Jews as their brothers and sisters, and learning to love one another. Oh yes, instead of hating one another. Yes, although they believe that, all they think this little Christian Arab boy is on fantasy and talking these fantasies in the mind. Yeah, there's a dream that will never come about. Well, wishful thinking and all the part out there who thinking so. Always the one is on fantasy. Because the Bible, what everything I say in here, exactly what the Bible teach. And that was exactly what Jesus Christ coming to do. You understand? So beyond the wars and suffering in Palestine, or the war that will take place, whether in a 2 days from now or a month from now between Iran and the state of Israel, when both of them lego bombs against one another and cause a lot of damage in the state, and Israel cause a lot of damage in the state in the country of Iran, and Iran cause a lot of damage in the state of Israel, and Israel kill a lot of the Persian people, and the Persian people kill a lot of the Jewish people, and bloodshed and suffering on both sides. Jesus Christ will come to stop it and put it to an end. Yeah, and he will cause all mankind to live in peace and one another. Oh yes, when he come, he will do that. And when he come and do that, yes, he will bring all the human family together and unite them as one. Yes. Only thing Jesus Christ not coming to do that. That is exactly what he coming to do. And all them Arab people who hate the Jews, and all the Jews who hate them Arab people, all he will unite all of them together as brothers and sisters, for them to love one another and live in peace and love in one accord. Oh yes. This is the teaching of the scriptures from Genesis to Revelation. Although I accept that, that's a fact of the matter. That's the fact of the matter, ladies and gentlemen. That's the fact of the matter. That's the fact of the matter. So all you all day who will despise this video and say, I will wax on you on fantasy, man. There's some talk about some invisible God is coming to intervene in the world visible amongst mankind and stop the war in Jerusalem, and he will bring peace between the Jews and Israel, and all the Arab nation will be united with the Jews, and they will live happy forevermore, and all these things. Yeah. Exactly what I said. Not only will accept that, but that's a fact of the matter. And that will exactly what will happen when Jesus Christ comes back to this earth in the future. So as I said, before that time come, right now Israel and Iran is gearing up. Both of them are flexing their military muscle. Yes, both Iran and the state of Israel and Iran, both of them are flexing the military weapons right now. Their military muscles right now. Yes, both of them are flexing their early. Israel is on standby to see if Iran will attack them, and the state of Iran, the Revolutionary Guard, and the army of Persia, they are on standby, full alert to see if Israel will attack them or try to blow up their nuclear reactor, whether they have it in a factory on top or below the ground. So both countries are on alert and they are waiting to see who will fire the first missile or the first shot first, whether Israel will fire first or Iran will fire first. Both of them is waiting, but somebody will fire first. We have to wait and see. All they think is the Jewish people. Well, whether the Jewish people fire the first shot first or the first missile, I can assure you all that the state of Israel will respond. The state of Persia will respond back to the Jews. They will fire the missile too back to the state of Israel. And if the state of Israel, if Persia fire the first shot to Israel, Israel will respond back and fire back to Tehran, Iran. Yeah. So who fired the first shot first, the next I will respond back. I can assure you all that. Because all them bombs and things the state of Iran making, they had that for style, you know. They had that to use, you know. And all the high-tech weapons that America is supplying Israel, $4 billion of weaponry every year. You think the state of Israel, they have that for style? That is to defend the country, and therefore they will use it against the state of Israel, the state of Iran. Both sides will be using the weapon one another. You understand? So it will be a terrible thing, a terrible thing, a terrible thing, ladies and gentlemen. But that's the reality, that's the hardcore reality about it. That's the hardcore reality about it. And that will happen very soon. I can predict the day when the first shot will fire or when it will happen. But in the meantime, we have to read the news, look at the international news, and see how things are developing before that time, before that take place. Whether America will release the sanction on the state of Persia, allow the United Nations inspectors to come in the nuclear plant to see if they're not developing uranium to make the nuclear bomb, to see how truthful Iran is. They will set up the cameras to monitor what the scientists is doing. You understand? Whether Iran will allow all that, or Iran will stick to the position and say, we're not allowing no United Nations inspectors to come in the nuclear plant. We're not setting up no cameras until all that sanction, all they have on us, move it first until we will do that. So we have to wait to see what will happen concerning that. In the meantime, the state of Israel saying, you see this negotiation between America and the state of Iran, we are so thing with that, you know, because wise times is going, Iran playing for time, and why is always waiting for discussion to place and postponing discussion, always giving Iran more time to develop this weapon, this nuclear weapon to attack we. So you see, we go fly the plane and try to bomb up the nuclear reactor. So Israel is different. You understand? You understand? You understand? You understand? So we have to wait and see what will take place, and therefore I am waiting and watching what is taking place from Trinidad and Tobago, and of course the rest of the world. You understand? So it's a serious matter that is at hand. A serious matter that is at hand, ladies and gentlemen. Serious matter as at is hand. But what I told you all, whosoever fired the first shot and start the war between Iran and the state of Israel will be both bloodshed on both sides, suffering on both sides, chaos on both sides, damage on both sides. And beyond that, remember Jesus Christ is coming to stop all wars and to bring peace to the whole of mankind. So these things will take place before Jesus Christ comes. Yes, these things will take place before Jesus Christ comes. These things will take place before Jesus Christ comes, ladies and gentlemen, before Jesus Christ comes. Oh yes, before Jesus Christ comes. Before Jesus Christ comes. I know a lot of you all are looking for a winner if the war do start between Iran and Persia. A lot of you all are saying, who will win the war? Will either Israel will come out the loser, or the state of Persia will come out the winner? Or whether Israel will become the winner in that war, or the state of Persia will become the loser. What you all think? Who will be the winner and who will be the loser? Only wait until I give you all wait until I give my who is the winner. Well, as I said, Israel will be the winner. But in spite Israel will be the winner, they will lose a lot of the people, and the state of Persia will lose a lot of the people too at the same time. Because remember, God is defending Israel. You understand? But that's the reality about it. 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 But I said beyond that, remember Jesus Christ is coming to bring peace to the whole world, not only to the state of Israel and the Jewish state and to the state of Iran, but to the whole of humanity, because not only Iran and Israel want to go to war. There are many other countries have the little civil war fighting and all these things. You understand? In other countries, and you are talking about other civil war that take place in other countries years ago. These wars have come to an end, but they're in other countries right now. There's armed conflict. For instance, in Colombia, you understand, the guerrilla warfare in there, but there's still groups there. In some countries with ISIS, you see, ISIS group, Al Qaeda, and a lot of terrorist groups in all different parts of the world. You understand? And in Africa, you understand, terrorist groups. You understand? And so it have armed conflicts all over the world. And Jesus Christ will bring all these things down in. But it's true is that the major war will be taking place in Palestine between Israel and the other nations around them. But you remember, you have to look at all over the world at the same time. All these rest of conflicts, armed conflicts in all the rest of countries. Jesus Christ bringing these things to an end too. You understand? You understand? Because remember, when Jesus Christ comes, he's not only coming for the Jewish people, but he's coming to the whole of mankind. You understand? So wheresoever there's war, any part of the earth, that will come to an end too when Jesus Christ comes. But we know the major conflict will be taking place between Israel and the rest of the nations up there before Jesus Christ comes. According as mentioned in the book of Isaiah, in the book of Jeremiah, and other books now. And I know that you all heard about the Armageddon War. All these things will take place. We think it's taking place up in the state of Israel up there. So you see? So Jesus Christ is coming for the whole of humanity, the whole human family, to bring peace to the whole of mankind. Because after all, he make mankind, and he make the human family, and therefore he have to bring them back together and stop all these wars and this fighting that is taking place down here throughout the centuries. Jesus is only got to put it as stop permanently. Who else you all know will put that to the stop? Not even the angels of God could put that to a stop. You all doesn't know that. Well, I telling all of that, well, I accept that or not. That's a fact of the matter. Not even the elect holy angels could come down here and put all wars, conflict, and stop upon this earth. It's God himself had to do that. All it doesn't know that. And I know a lot of you all have been watching me over the years and say, Rexon, you're just re-recording these videos, but you always want to jump on the angels. Like you like to insult God the angels, say they can't do this and they can't do that. I just started talking that way to let all you know about the facts of the matter. Yes. Because a lot of you all believe that's because God created angels, and angels could do everything. Angels are limited. There are many things angels can't do. But all you believe that's because God created angels, he could do everything. No, he has limits too. There are many things that angels cannot do. All of them know that. Well, I'm telling all of that. Whether all of you accept that or reject that, that's the fact of the matter. That's the fact of the matter. I know a lot of all doesn't like that. Seeing the angels can do this and the angels can do that and all kind of thing. I want to give me the impression that I insulted God the angels. I'm not insulting God the angels at all. I'm just telling all of the facts of the matter. And a lot of you all want to find out how I know that. How I read that in the Bible. Did God tell me that personally? I might answer only on that, but I just letting all you know that. A lot of the angels can do many things the angels can do. You think any angels could create the sun and the moon? None of them can create no sun, no moon. That's as no mankind can create no moon and no sun. The only person who can create sun and moon is who? God. That is one indication to teach all of that. And let all you know that. Let all you know that. The only thing they like holy angels could come down here and stop the wars and the fighting. Only have it wrong. All you will have it wrong. You know what mankind you tell the like holy angels? Let me give you only a classical example before I bring this video. The curtain down on this video. All you can remember in the Old Testament, I'm finishing this now. All you can remember in the Old Testament when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, in the days of Moses and Aaron, when they was leading the children of Israel to the land of Canaan. Well, God himself, the creator, came down upon Mount Sinai. But you know what the children of Israel, the disobedient children of Israel, said unto Moses? You see our creator God had come down? We doesn't want him to talk to us because we will die. Because when they see the manifestation that he come down upon Mount Sinai, thunder, lightning, cloud, darkness, a cloud, and thunder and lightning, and hearing trumpets and all this. That was the angels blowing trumpets and things. You understand? And the mountain on fire. They got frightened. They was quaking. They said, we just, and then plus the voice of God talking to them, you know, in this powerful, divine manner. They got a hand. They get, you see, they was frightened. There was fear, fearful. They say unto Moses, we doesn't want God to talk to us lest we die. We want you to talk to us. You see what they tell Moses? But did Moses make them? No. But the Creator who created them, you hear what they tell Moses? Don't make he speak to us. But you as a man who didn't even create us, you as a man that's as us. You, Moses, talk to us. But let God hush up his mouth. That is exactly what I was telling Moses. You see? Well, if the elect holy angels come down here, and God will come down here personally, send all the elect holy angels down here. Mankind, the same way how these rebellious children of Israel tell Moses, we don't want God to speak to, all of the people down here will tell the elect holy angels, only know God. And we read in the Bible that God created the angels before us. The angels will say, yes, God created us before all you is Adam and Eve. You know what they will tell the angels? Well, since all you didn't create us, and you all telling us that we should stop fighting and living in peace with one another and stop manufacturing arms and selling arms to protect our country. Well, you all angels didn't create us, so we all come to tell us that for. We want the Creator God to tell us that because he make us. That is exactly what mankind will tell the elect holy angels. So even the elect holy angels will receive stiff opposition from mankind if they come down here to say they will bring peace to mankind. The thing I just making up that. That is exact. I'm showing you so rebellious mankind is, they will tell the elect holy angels that. All you believe, you see the fantasy all you on is believe that's because they elect holy, that's because they are holy and righteous angels and there's the presence of God. They could just come down here and tell mankind all to stop the wars and live a peaceful life without receiving any opposition. That is not true. They will receive stiff opposition from human beings the same way too. That we're trying to show there. So it's God himself is the one to achieve that. To stop all wars down here and bring mankind together. The elect holy angels can achieve that on their own. You know, we get the message now? Grasp that principle and keep on grasping it and understand it. You understand, ladies and gentlemen? Well, if all of us believe it, what I'm saying, man, that's only saying that I'm talking in this manner to make people get the impression that I is this bright boy and I'm this bright boy. Well, read it for yourself. I draw the example with the children of Israel telling Moses, you don't speak to us. I mean, we don't want God to speak upon us, to speak to us lest we die. We want you, Moses, to speak to us and let God shut him out. And you open your mouth and talk to us. But Moses was listening them, but Moses was listening what they was telling you, but he wasn't accepting that. He wasn't accepting the children of Israel, but they're telling you. He reject what they tell you because he's a servant of God. He's going out to Mount Sinai to communicate with God and they follow the instructions of God to come and teach them it. I think Moses had time to study what he was telling him. You talk to us and let God shut him out. No, 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 no. He know they was telling him the wrong thing. So follow believe that the like holy angels, so all of them will come down here and go to all the different countries. Yeah, and meet the leadership of all the different countries. I mean the prime ministers and the president and the general of the army. All put away all the weapons, destroy all the weapons. God send me. We come to bring peace to the world. And think these general four-star generals will be listening to Michael and Gabriel telling them that without any opposition from mankind. That are happening no way. Who knows? Even these generals will take up them weapons and point it at the angels and tell them all to back off. Despite their spirit beings, all they believe that can happen. I know even though the angels nothing. Because even in that, even though the angels not there, point how much weapon to the like holy angel, these weapons would not destroy them, because one angels destroy 182,000 men in the camp of the Syrians. So we know one elect holy angels. You see how much angels he destroy? And that is only one. So we know, it's right mankind point the guns at the like holy angels and tell them, now we are following all the advice, we will stick with the weapons. You understand? And live a life what we want. We know mankind is still no match at the like holy angels. But the point is, what I'm trying to show you, God did not send the like holy angels to kill out mankind. So even self the mankind respond in that negative to the like holy angels. The like holy angels say, well, since all you want to follow us, let us kill all you. No, the like holy angels didn't do that. You understand? You understand? Because they didn't send down here in the first place to destroy mankind. You understand? But I'm telling you all, that's the way how mankind will respond to the like holy angels. Well, yeah, even catching the prince of what I'm saying. That is the way how mankind will respond to the angels. You understand? In other words, they will tell the angels, mind all the business. We will live a life, or we want to live a life. Because they will tell the like holy angels, all they didn't create we, it's God create us. So we'll take order from He. All they say He sent all the down here, we're not so sure about that. We're not so sure all they come down here on all the own. Let the Creator come down and tell me that. You see, in other words, they will talk to the angels in that way. That we're trying to show all the in spite there's like holy angels, supernatural beings, in spite of all the supernatural power they have, mankind, who is not even powerful with them, will respond to them in that manner. Well, okay, I'm talking about something nonsensical rubbish and foolishness and stupidity, and Eric Braxton missing a screw in his head, and he doesn't know what he's saying. And he doesn't know what he's saying, and he's talking a sort of garbage and nonsense. And mankind will never respond to the like holy angels in that way. Okay, well, if all you believe that, well, that's it. But I tell you all the facts of the matter. Whether you all accept it or not, that's the facts of the matter. Okay, brothers and sisters, let me enter the video. So, as I say, beyond the chaos, that all what I use there with the like holy angels, that is an example, to show you how mankind will respond. You understand? But thank God, ladies and gentlemen, God, the like holy angels will not be coming down here by themselves to bring peace to the world. It's Jesus Christ, the God of peace, will be coming with the like holy angels to bring peace unto the world. But I still have to add that to the mix. But thank God, Jesus Christ is coming with the like holy angels. As the book of Revelation, he's riding the white horse with the like holy angels, all dressed in white. And he, as King of Kings, coming back to the earth, the armies of heaven following him. So the like holy angels will not be coming by themselves. But Jesus Christ is coming with the like holy angels to bring peace to the world. So who coming to bring peace to the world? The God of peace, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, with the like holy angels, he's coming. But I just use the like holy angels and use that as an example that if they do come by themselves, how mankind will respond to them in that negative way. But I all believe mankind will not respond to the angels in that way. And wishful thinking all apart. The heart of man is desperately wicked and evil above all. So that's why mankind will respond to the angels in that way. Although no one understand it? Right. In no other name but in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Let Jesus Christ come with the like holy angels. And the second coming of Christ as our King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and the God of creation and the God of mankind, to bring peace to the human family, so that the whole human family will live in peace and love forevermore. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, amen and amen. Shalom, peace.